Good morning, fellow peoples in quarantine. Time is now meaningless, so I'm in my gym jams. I know I've been absent for a little while, but it's because there's nothing really to record. At least, I don't think it's worth recording. But I recently got an obsession with spiders. Matt is not exactly happy about that, but he's very sweet and understanding and is allowing me to keep my spiders. He just doesn't want them in the room with him. Let me show you my spiders. Oh, there's a way I can turn this around. There we go. As you can see here, I've got a little, well, not little, it was an animal cracker container that my dad saved. And I've been telling him about how I love jumping spiders. And I think cellar spiders are cool. So he was very sweet and he caught me a bunch of spiders. So I've set up this little tank. I've got a common house spider. I'm not sure if that's a black widow or not because it doesn't have the hourglass and it's more of a dark brown than black color. So any spider experts watching, if you could identify it, that would be great. And as you could see, my cellar spiders are just chilling. I don't know if you can see, but they are eating. I was able to find a rose in the front yard with a ton of aphids, and it's really easy pickings for these guys. Hello, Trashed Picture Show. I primarily have cellar spiders, which love to live in dark corners, and they set up their webs to catch prey. And I've seen videos of them eating black widows, so I kind of put this one here in there as an experiment to see if the cellar spiders would eat that or if they would stick to the aphids. So far, they seem to love the aphids. And if you look up here, this is an old sheet of pantyhose, but it's perfect for allowing air to flow through without letting them get out. So I'm enjoying my little box of nature right here as I sip my coffee in my Christmas mug, because as I said before, time is now irrelevant with the quarantine going on. And I've just been trying to keep myself occupied. If any of you guys want to chat, tell me how your quarantine is going and what you think of this whole situation. I'm going to turn it back to me. Where's my Sadie? Sadie, baby! Here comes my pupper. There you are. Oh, you got to do your big stretchies first. Come here. Come up here. That's my good girl. What you doing? She has been happy with the quarantine because that means her people are home almost all day. Except for Matt. He's still working for Instacart to pay our bills, so we're doing okay. It's just very weird not being able to go to the theater, not being able to sit down and eat in a restaurant. And honestly, I think a lot of people are over panicking, but the main thing is that you stay safe, wash your hands constantly, cover your face when you have to cough, and just use tons of sanitizer and it should all be fine. Trash picture show, I'm sorry I haven't uploaded in 3 weeks. It's just I've been struggling with my depression, but I think I finally got the upper hand. So that's why I'm up to filming now. And I'm just gonna sit here, sip my coffee, and see if anyone else feels like chatting about anything. What was I gonna say? I'm brain farting like crazy here. I've only been up for... What time is it now? I've been up for an hour now. And I'm not a morning person, so it takes me a while to feel like I'm fully awake. So I just like to sit here and sip my coffee, watch the spiders. And I have a nice view of my backyard from here too. But unfortunately, it's been raining so heavily here that the birds are kind of hiding. Oh, trash picture show. I see what you mean. Yeah, when you're in quarantine and you can't visit other family members or friends, it just feels very weird. Like a bad dream that you just can't seem to wake up from. And in my town, when this whole stupid thing started, people were making crazy runs on all the grocery stores in town. The shelves are still mostly empty, and it's pretty much where's Waldo if you need to get more TP or bottled water or canned goods. It's just, it feels like a taste of living in a third world country, and I don't like it. And I'm just thankful that my family stocked up on a bunch of gluten-free, freeze-dried prep foods, so we don't have to worry about shopping and being exposed. If I had a superpower, what would it be? That's a tough one for me. I would love to be able to shapeshift into an animal at will. That'd be pretty cool. But I would also love to read people's minds and know exactly what they're thinking. So, I'm not sure which one I would pick. Probably the shapeshift, because then I could just listen to what people are saying. We've been watching all the classic virus movies like Contagion and Quarantine. Carriers is a sad movie. I don't recommend it if you want to feel good. But Outbreak was a really good one too. So I'm really thankful that we're subscribed to Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime Video. There's definitely plenty of shows to watch, so I have no reason to say there's nothing to watch. And what else? It just feels like a weird dream right now with all this going on. But the good news is gas prices are at an all-time low right now. So I'm really happy about that. And I'm just looking forward to when this is all done with. It's frustrating. Would watching them not make you anxious? No, I actually find it comforting to watch these scary virus movies because it gives me ideas on how to avoid getting sick. Plus, I've always been more into the horror and action adventure movie genre. Comedies are great too, but sometimes I like to just be scared. I can't really think of a whole lot else going on because there's not much to do. Yes, I'm very thankful that this situation where I live is not as bad as those virus movies, although it is pretty similar to the start of any virus movie. And of course, it started with someone eating something that they shouldn't have in an underdeveloped area, and lack of proper education and hygiene only made it worse. So wash your hands. 28 Days is an amazing movie. And as someone who loves the show Once Upon a Time, seeing Robert Carlyle play a coward in that, and then watching 28 Days Later, and then seeing his character also be a coward, is pretty cool. It seems like he's typecast, but he does it really well. So, I'm just trying to pick what virus movie I'll watch next.
Excuse me.
Are
Are you making a video?
I'm live streaming. Only 3 people are watching.
Oh, sorry. Frank's on his way back. The whole company got laid off again.
Oh my goodness.
They knew yesterday, but they didn't tell anyone until they showed up this morning.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Frank's pretty upset.
I would be too.
He called because he's going to come here and have Matt help him do a resume and then print it out.
Yeah, I'd be upset too.
It's pride. They don't live up to their name.
They're circus.
Their business practices are abysmal.
Yeah.
So Frank's done with them.
I don't blame him a bit.
No
I would
kidding.
be done too.
Being union didn't help, did it?
Apparently not.
I mean, I can understand why the layoffs, but the way they did it and didn't let them know till they showed up for work.
It's like a cruel prank.
That just stinks.
Yeah, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
So my buddy Frank, he was the best man at my wedding. Matt and I love him to bits. He's basically a brother to us. He's been working with a subcontractor that works with PG&E, but their whole company is a circus, and the monkeys are in charge. So my friend is very frustrated, and this isn't the first time they've laid people off without telling them until they showed up to start working. So I don't imagine that company will be around a whole lot longer. And I'm just thankful that I didn't have a job to lose. And this whole thing just feels weird. What about you 3 people watching? Why don't you tell me about your experience in the chat? I'm honestly curious about how it's affecting you guys. I'm not scared, and I'm not freaking out. I just see it as a huge inconvenience, honestly, because everyone's acting so paranoid and so irrationally fearful. And it's just kind of scary going out, because when all this started, there were massive runs on all the grocery stores, and the cops got called a couple of times because people in Costco started a fight over toilet paper. It's just insane. Hey Vulcan, how are you doing? But thankfully for my family, we stocked up before all this started, so we are fine. We are not needing anything. We're pretty self-sufficient at the moment, so I'm just more concerned about Matt's health and safety as he goes out and does this work for Instacart. Thank you, Vulcan. I've been taking better care of myself, trying to eat better, and I've been taking my medications, and I gotta say, my depression is a lot better than it was a couple weeks ago. So things are getting better. It's just taking a little time. And yeah, trashed picture. I feel like people in America are quick to panic over everything. I don't know how it is over there, but here the media blows everything out of proportion and tends to make everything worse. And so at this point, I don't really watch the news anymore. I just check Facebook, honestly, and if there's anything important going on, I'll hear about it somehow. I just get tired of all the negative in the news and how they harp on it. Like that's the only thing going on. It is tragic though, because people are dying from this because they have pre-existing health issues that make it a lot worse. So it is serious if you're immune compromised and if you don't take standard care of yourself. But you got to take those basic precautions of washing your hands, using sanitizer. Don't touch your face after touching objects that are not yours. You know, don't touch the fruit in the grocery store and then scratch your face. Stuff like that. And I had the swine flu when that was going on, and no one panicked about it as badly as they are panicking about this. And with the swine flu, even more people died. So it just seems like everyone's losing their marbles here. And, oh, you have a heart condition? Yeah, that does make it more at risk for you. So it's this quarantine will go a lot smoother if everyone just sticks with it. Because the more people break it and go out just to go out, the longer it's going to take before this gets out of here and we're able to resume life back to normal again. So if everyone would just not be dumb, it'll get better. Hello, Rocket Burgundy. Oh, you work for Amazon and they have 2 confirmed cases? That's gotta be a little unnerving for you. I admit I'd get more nervous about that. I'm glad that they are checking your temperatures, but just be safe. Did I enjoy Birds of Prey? Yes, I loved it. It was a lot funnier than I expected. And I gotta say, when that main bad guy blew up, that was just hysterical to me. I've always had a bit of a mental dichotomy where I love uplifting, positive, good things. But I also love when a bad guy gets blown up in a hysterically overdone way. I love overkill in movies. Because just the level of effort to make sure the bad guys are dead. It just reminds me of slapstick comedy and it just makes me bust up laughing. I'm definitely going to buy it when it comes out on DVD and we have the money to spare. It was definitely not a movie for kids, but it was definitely funny. Yeah, it was more of a Harley focused movie and I honestly loved that. In a way, I have Harley hair with a pink and purple braid. I've really gotten into the world of Tolkien with The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, so I'm trying different fancy hairstyles based off of the movies. It's been fun. Yeah, Rocket Burgundy, I can understand that you would be worried. I would be worried too. And having to provide for your family is hard, especially with all this going on. But I think now is the time for us as people to check on each other. If you got friends that are extroverted but you're introverted, you should check on your extroverted friends because they don't know how to handle this. Whereas us introverts are like, our lives haven't changed a bit, except for more frequent hand washing and using sanitizer and things like that. I have some pop figures, but they're in my storage unit right now. I currently have a Weeping Angel, I think. I know for sure I have a figure of the Silence, and I have Dr. Brenner from Stranger Things. And I want to say I have young Albus Dumbledore, but I don't remember all the figures I have. Matt and I are in the process of preparing to move out and move in with our friend Frank. I know I just mentioned he got laid off from the subcontractor working with PG&E, but there's a hotel in town that my friend Frank works for, and they love him there. He's the best handyman that they've had in years. So we're very certain he'll be able to go right back there. And then the three of us will be able to afford a place together. And it'll just be a lot nicer. I have been very blessed by my parents to have them allow my husband and I to live here as long as we needed without pressure or stress about having to pay rent here while we're struggling newlyweds. Going on a little over 2 years married now. But I think all of us are eager for Matt and I to get our own place situated. And with Frank, he's basically family. So it would be mutually beneficial to all of us. So if you guys could just pray that all this goes smoothly, that would be really appreciated. I like that you have 3 different pop figures. My goal when we move out is to have an entertainment room with a giant TV, all the video game consoles, and a wall of nothing but pop figures. But that takes time and money. We have plenty of time. It's just the money is another thing. I love coffee. While I'm thinking about it, a fun coffee trick that you guys might like is when you're brewing your coffee, put a cinnamon stick in the pot so that the hot coffee activates the cinnamon and it gives a holiday flavor to it. Oh, you have actual action figures. That's even cooler. There will be a brief intermission while I get my second cup of coffee. But don't go away yet. Oh, wait. I think that's my friend Frank. Oh, that's Jess. Okay. Well, it's great chatting with you guys, but I gotta go. Have a good one.